Man, how has the show been going so far, man?
So far, so good. Yeah, it's been really busy. Crowds are really good. Feels like everything's sort of back to normal since pre-COVID, so it's really good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, I understand that you have a couple of variants that you have available to folks that come by your table. Talk a little more about those.
Yeah. I've got two San Diego Comic Con variants. I'll grab them. I've got a Josie variant, and then I have a mermaid variant, and then for the Betty and Veronica summer beach party special. These are the variants for those, and you can come by my table and pick them up. I'll sign them for you. And for those of you who aren't fortunate enough to be here in San Diego, I have been mailing some out too. So yeah, just contact me.
Cool, cool, cool. So I know we were talking a little bit about it offline. Um, of course, the nature of this year's show and how the I guess we were talking about the foot traffic and how it's a slightly different based on the circumstances, of course. So I mean, does it really make a difference one way or another for you? Because I mean, I'm not trying to toot your horn or anything, but I mean, when being a household name, like I feel like for you, it's pretty relative in terms of noticing really the difference.
I do notice a difference. Yeah, it makes a difference because being less celebrity-driven panels this year because of the strike. Definitely a lot more foot traffic here. So even though I always have like a pretty steady stream of people, because I'm fortunate enough to have been doing this for so long, you get a lot of extra foot traffic of people that just happen to be walking by who may not have stopped by before. So it's good. It just adds a little bit to it. So it's nice.
Gotcha. And from day to day, like I think we were talking about it just a moment ago of like how certain days have been unexpectedly more busy than others. And for you, typically, what are those days that I think you have mentioned that are typically pretty heavy?
Well, here it used to always be that Saturday was always the busiest day because you get the most people that come on a Saturday. But with more celebrity panels, and especially here at San Diego with Hall H events and things like that, it was always usually the quietest day here on the floor in this retail section. But that could change this year because it's a whole new ball game this year, so I'm not sure. But usually my busiest day is usually Sunday. Usually people get a lot of last-minute impulse buys, and I do well on preview night too. Even though it's a short day, people come with their commissions lined up on preview night. So yeah.
And I have to ask, man, because we this is something we also talk about too of all the shows that you do in a given year. And I mean, if I recall, like you weren't even here stateside like before this show. Am I right about that? So how do you find the time to or manage to deal with that drastic shift in time? Because I'm sure can be a little daunting.
It's a little daunting. I didn't, sometimes you don't plan ahead well enough sometimes, and I forget that, international shows are a week long. You have to be on and then this is basically a week long show too. So you have to travel here back and forth. So yeah, I was in Uruguay a couple weeks ago, which was very nice. And then I had to go right to Montreal Comic Con last weekend, and then basically from Montreal I just went straight to the airport to come here. So it's a little tiring, but I'm not complaining. There are worse problems to have. Yes, yeah.
All right. So with that said, speaking of those shows, what do you have coming up next where folks can expect to run into you?
Next weekend I'll be in Terrificon in Connecticut, which is a great show. And then the week after that I'll be in Ecuador for Comic-Con Ecuador. So I'll be back in South America in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Well, Dan, always a pleasure. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your San Diego Comic-Con, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.